The fire pit crackled softly. Momo sat alone on the back patio of the hilltop restaurant, wrapped in a shawl, her wine resting beside her. She watched the city lights glow, and somewhere in the stillness, she remembered what she was here to do. She had ordered a small charcuterie board earlier, with figs, brie, prosciutto, and rosemary crackers. She had eaten slowly so that she can take time to savor everything. Around her, small parties chattered and laughed. Servers passed with trays of wine and dessert, and no one disturbed her. She had asked for solitude, and the staff, sensing something sacred, had honored it. Still, one server approached gently. "Would you like anything else?" they asked, voice low and respectful. Momo looked up, her eyes soft but steady. "Yes," she said. "I'd like one more glass of the red, and a slice of cheesecake, please." The server nodded with a smile and disappeared into the glow of the restaurant. Beside her, she had brought a small kit, a wooden box, blank labels, a pen, a few items wrapped in cloth. She was building something new tonight. In her hands was a folded letter. The paper was worn, the ink smudged from where her fingers had trembled when writing. She had written it slowly and intentionally, to herself, to the version of herself who had stayed with him. She remembered everything. The arguments about money, the way he gambled away their future while she rationed groceries, the shouting matches that ended in slammed doors and bruises, some visible, some not, the way he twisted her kindness into currency, spent it recklessly, then blamed her for the debt, and the shame. The deep, aching shame of loving someone who made her small. She had given him her stability, her labor, her loyalty, and he had gambled it away. She had stayed because loyalty was her language, because leaving felt like betrayal, because she thought love meant endurance. She had tried to make his life work, tried to be the anchor while he drifted, tried to believe that the dream they shared could survive the chaos he created. But the storm had swallowed him, and now he was gone. She leaned forward and fed the letter to the fire, held it until the flame kissed her fingertips, then let it go. The paper curled, blackened, lifted into smoke. Ash scattered upward, caught in the breeze, disappearing into the night. "You were not my purpose," she whispered. "You were not my mirror. I am not ashamed of surviving you." The fire crackled. The city lights blinked below, and in that moment, the dream was hers no longer. The server returned quietly, placing the wine and cheesecake beside her. Momo nodded in thanks, then took a slow sip. The wine was rich, earthy, grounding. The cheesecake was soft, sweet, Unapologetically indulgent, she let herself enjoy it. Then she turned to the box. She unwrapped the soft, leather-bound notebook they had once made together. The cover was worn, the edges frayed from years of handling. Inside, sketches of their dream homes, lists of places they wanted to travel, clippings from magazines, and handwritten notes. She turned the pages slowly. There was a drawing of a 2-story home with a garden and a dog named Mochi. A list titled Our Future Adventures: Kyoto, Patagonia, Marrakesh, etc. A note he had written in blue ink: We'll build something beautiful, I promise. She stared at them for a long time. Which parts were mine? She whispered. She picked up a pen and opened the blank page near the back. She wrote, Sanctuary, not performance. Joy without debt. Love that doesn't ask me to shrink. A home where I am safe. Then, one by one, she tore out the pages she no longer claimed. The ones that felt like promises made to someone else's fantasy. She fed them to the flame, quietly and deliberately. The fire accepted them without judgment. When the last page curled into ash, she was left with the empty shell. The cover, the spine, the binding that once held it all together. She wrapped it in a napkin, softly, reverently, not as a keepsake, but as a final gesture. Then she walked to the corner of the patio. Lifting the lid of the trash bin, she lets it go. No ceremony, no tears, just clarity. The pages are ash. The rest doesn't belong to me. She turned to her table, opened the fresh notebook, and wrote the first line. This time, I write for me. She still wants a home, a real one, not just a roof, but a sanctuary. She still wanted marriage, but with someone who saw her as sacred, not convenient. She still wanted children, to raise them with stories and softness and strength. She still wanted to travel, to eat street food in every country, to learn how to say thank you in every language. She still wanted to be healthy, to feel strong in her body, brave in her choices. She still wanted joy, the kind that doesn't come with a credit card bill. The dream hadn't died. He had just been the wrong co-author. She looked out into the night, the stars blinking softly above the trees, and she said out loud to herself, I was never the problem. I was the foundation. And this time, she didn't wait for someone to follow. She stayed. She savored. She built. Alone. And finally, entirely hers. The fire pit crackled on. The stars held their silence. The city lights blinked below, soft and distant. Her wine glass was half full. And Momo, notebook in hand, stayed a little longer, just writing. And somewhere between the stars and the fire, she began again. The end. Thank you for staying until the end. If you saw yourself in Momo's journey, I hope you feel less alone. If you've ever had to let go of a shared dream, I hope you know your resolve is not a failure. It's a beginning. So may you carry your story with softness. May you write your next chapter with clarity. And may you always remember you are allowed to choose yourself. Until next time, thank you so much for being here. Please take care of yourself. I love you. Goodbye.